I love seeing all the memes about like not having any self-control at Tractor Supply when you see all the little baby birds. But we have
That's us. That's gonna be us.
That is us.
Oh, we're out of dog food and chicken food, and we go there thinking we're just gonna bring home dog food and chicken food.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we have a Silky that is Brody, and for people that aren't chicken people, Brody just means that she wants to have babies. She's trying to like sit on eggs and incubate them. So we don't want to risk having more roosters, so we got to go buy her babies from Tractor Supply and just give them to her.
Because we have 3 roosters.
So we're counting the days until Tractor Supply has baby chickens.
Yeah, we have
so
3.
we can be irresponsible and give in to our impulses.
Mm-hmm. It's not irresponsible. We take care of them.
Oh, yeah.
We plan on more chickens.
Yeah, we definitely need more hens.
It's the ducks that are... Yeah, we have 3 roosters. Which all get along right now.
Surprisingly, yes.
And
so far, so
defend
good.
each other.
Yep. Believe it or not, they are a unit. If you mess with one of them, the other two
go into the dark.
Yep. They'll bow right up on you and come to the rescue of the one that's in trouble.
Even though he wasn't in trouble, he just didn't want to go in.
Yeah, he just didn't want to go to bed.
Don't tear up my curtains. No.
He's misbehaving.
Do you want to discuss politics, Bubba? You do? Who are you voting for in the 2024 election? Oh, you're going to be quiet about that? Probably the guy with the boot on his head.
Vermin Supreme.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Kanye West.
Yeah.
Right in.
Bub strikes me as a Kanye voter.
Okay, what about Rosie? If our dumb dog had to vote, what do you think she'd vote for?
Our dogs are liberals, so they're both voting for Biden.
Because they're anti-gun.
They hate the guns, man. I think one of my favorite things with animals, whether it's, the dogs or the cats or like the chickens or the ducks,
is watching how they interact.
Is watching their personalities and how they interact, and like it's just fun. Like the chickens especially, like because you see a chicken, I don't think people realize how personable and unique each one is. Like we have these 2 that we got together as babies. And, they were raised in the same environment, did their thing, but their personalities couldn't be more different.
Yeah, the one that runs people, up to you.
One hates people, doesn't like being held, and the other one is super, like, social. In your face, wants you to pick her up.
Wants you to pick her up because she knows you're the treat handler.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's interesting seeing, like, it doesn't matter how you raise them. There's a certain element to them that is themselves.
Oh, and I believe that with like almost all animals. I'm not a rodent person, but my sister had a guinea pig.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was so cool. And of all the companions it could have had, it loved my parents' Saint Bernard. And the Saint Bernard loved it.
Yeah.
And we had to her name was Molly, and we had to remind Molly, be gentle, because like, and all she would do would be like nudge it with her nose, but a Saint Bernard nudging a guinea pig with her nose, but she treated it like a baby.
Oh yeah,
and it was the same colors.
Yeah.
And then she would keep it herded, like she would let Edgar go too far. Edgar was the guinea pig's name, so like that was cool to see the personalities of that. Also, Ember would throw tantrums if she was hungry. She would dig out all of her bedding and turn over her dish and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of funny. And then I had that turtle, Francine, and it's so funny because she absolutely loved when I would grab a dish towel. She'd start swimming all excitedly because she knew that meant I was taking her out of the tank to watch Netflix. And her and I would watch Netflix, and she'd have like her neck outstretched. I honestly don't know if that turtle was a boy or a girl.
Mm-hmm.
It was a red ear slider. That's about all I know, but I named her Francine. And what pissed me off is she absolutely loved my brother. Like, stretched out her neck, like, wanted him to pet her, and I'm like, what the fuck? You don't do that for me. You like Netflixing with me, but
The turtles are fun pets too. I had them mostly growing up as well. My parents still have a couple of them,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, they're fun. We had one when I was real little, and she would roam the house. Like they kept her in like a little tub at night, but she'd just climb out of the tub and like should like be under the bed, and like my parents would just let it roam the house. It was really funny.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, I was thinking back to that because I was like, because the turtles they have now, it has like a little tank and stuff, and they put it outside on like warm summer days and stuff so they can lounge in the sun. But I remember when I was a kid, this one turtle we had, they just let run around the house.
That's cool.
And like sometimes it wouldn't be in its little enclosure thing because it wasn't like a tank. It was almost like a tote that they just kept it in. But like if it wasn't in there, like they knew it's like, oh, it's under the bed. It would go into like this little spare room we had and get under the bed, and that's where it liked to hang out. But
it's funny.
yeah,
yeah, but it's just fun. It's just funny how like even like those things will have personalities.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not a big rodent or reptile person, but I'm sure they have their personalities. Like I have a distant relative that swears by rats.
Yeah.
And like they are affectionate and they are smart and she loves them.
Yeah.
She dresses them up.
She dresses them up.
Yeah, she trains them too, like through little obstacle courses and stuff because they like it.
Yeah. I don't know how true this is. I heard this. It was probably on some podcast, but I heard that they did a study with why mice like to run on the wheel. And you would assume, like, well, that's something for them to do when they're, like, enclosed. It's to keep them from being bored. But this study they did, they set up cameras and put wheels, like, out in the wild. And even wild mice, when they find that wheel, they're like, oh, sweet. And the wild mice will use the wheel. So there's something like with like that wheel thing that like mice just inherently like doing because even the ones that are in the wild and like have never been in captivity will see the wheel and they know what to do and they get on it and they play with it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, basically the way they did it is they put a bunch of these wheels just out in like the woods and put cameras on them and then they just watched it over time to see if like wild rodents would interact with it and they did.
It's so funny though, because I just thinking of rats, I would think that they'd be personable. Yeah. Animals are just so cool. And I know people who swear by snakes too. They love their snakes. They're not for me. Yeah. Doesn't your friend have a snake?
Yeah, I got a friend. My friend, he's always kind of had reptiles growing up, but he really likes having a snake. He's a military officer. He's an Air Force officer, so he doesn't really have time. He's not home a lot to like really take care of it. But what I didn't know is you don't have to feed snakes that often.
I guess once a week.
Yeah, you feed it like once a week, and they're not super messy. Like their tanks, like you keep them warm, they're fine. But it's perfect for him because if he's not home ever, so it's like real easy for him to take care of and like give it a good life.
What kind of snake is it?
It's a ball python. Yeah. Its name is it has a really like cuddly name. I think he named it like Tibbles or something. And it's
Yeah, see, I couldn't get past that because you feed them mice, right? I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I think you don't have to get them live ones though. I think you can get frozen.
No, I've heard controversy about giving them live ones because it can hurt the snake.
Yeah, because sometimes they'll fight back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hear frozen's better, but I don't know. But like I don't like handling mice, not dead, not alive. I hate them.
Yeah.
So even if it was a frozen mouse, I wouldn't be able to feed the snake. I'd have to have someone that does that.
Yeah.
But also, I'm just not a big snake person either. But I do love like when people like have their animals they like and they know what they can handle as far as the responsibility goes.
Yeah. That's like I think the biggest thing with any animals is like knowing what time you have for it, you know, because like I don't know, yeah, you got to consider like the animal's experience too, you know, and if you're a really busy person, then you probably shouldn't have something that's going to need lots of your attention.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, especially like dogs, because you consider their time is so different. You're gone an hour, and that feels so much longer to them.
Yeah.
It almost makes you feel guilty. Like,
yeah.
I mean, they're fine. You know, they're fine for a certain amount of hours. But yeah, happy animals, happy life. I believe in having happy animals. That's why mine get table scraps here and there, within reason. I mean, I'm not giving them anything that would be, I'm not giving them chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, I'm a firm believer of always feeding dogs.
Yeah, what do your parents call it? Last bite?
Last bite, yeah.
Last bite.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine just having to eat, like, kibble.
Yeah.
For every meal all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, some people call it spoiling your animals. And I'm like, no, you're giving them, like, let them enjoy some food.
Dude, spoiling your animals, like, I have watched people who cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner for their dogs.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, chicken and rice and pate. I don't necessarily think
that's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. I'm just like, if I had the means and the energy to do that for every meal, I would like to do that once a week for our dogs. Get a piece of meat, cook it.
Well, I did that yesterday.
And put rice. Yeah, we did do that yesterday. But I mean, like, make it a balanced meal. Because these people make a balanced meal. That almost looks better than what I eat on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Other than the, like, pate they'll put on there. That looks kind of gross. But we give Bub tuna, too, when we open tuna. He's more particular about what human food he'll eat. He loves popcorn, though.
Yeah.
Such a weird thing for a cat to love, but he absolutely loves it. All our animals like hot fries.
Yeah, they do.
Bub likes spicy, too. I told you about that jalapeno popper he stole from me.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be just the cream cheese. No, that dude was chewing the jalapeno. You're a weird cat, dude. I bet that didn't feel good coming out later.
He doesn't care. He'll do it again right now.
But I think the conclusion of this whole thing is happy animals, happy life.
Yep. I would agree.